If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and if you want coaching with me in Nottingham or online, all the information's in my bio. Hello, how are you doing? So I see a lot online, and I hear a lot of people talking about how queuing straight is a magic way of being a better snooker player, but it really isn't. There's some incredible legends of the game, not just good players, legends that don't cue straight. So there's a little bit of evidence to suggest that it's not the be-all and end-all. Obviously, you think about people like, look at Neil Robertson, who obviously ramrod straight, incredible snooker player, great champion, but he's such a small part of why he's a great player. Of course, it helps him, and obviously from distance, it makes him superhuman. But if he was setting up in the wrong position, he'd be the worst player you've ever seen. So it's more important to be able to set up. I'm not saying that a straight cue action isn't a good thing, or any kind of technique changes are not necessarily always a bad thing, but the goal is to get a cue action that you can repeat. And if you can do that, you can play with it. But like I say, dog with a bone, always go, if you can improve your aiming, where your cue's pointing, right, no bad can come from that. That's going to improve you. So how can cueing straight make you a worse player? So what generally happens is people will address at the wrong point and aim the cue in the wrong direction, and they will make allowances to compensate for that bad aiming, and that's how they learn to play, right? For certain shots, they'll do a bit of movement or this, that, the other. Obviously, that can be built on sand, but if it's working, you stay as it is. You keep going, keep cracking on. But if it's not, you need to change something. So obviously, what most people do is think, I need to cue straighter, but that's where it goes wrong, because if you're setting up in the wrong position and making an allowance on the strike to get the ball in the hole, right, to get the cue tip to the right point, all of a sudden, what the people think, right, I'm going to cue straighter. So they learn to cue straighter, but now they're still aiming in the wrong spot, but they're actually hitting the wrong spot. So they end up playing worse. So then the circle of death starts. Bad one. They think, well, I've got not doing it right, or I need to do that's the other. Is my foot pointing in the wrong direction? Is my ear in the right direction? It's a nightmare, right? Bad one. Most pros have been down this circle of death a lot, and it's a horrible and dark and dingy place. Don't go down there. So for me, the strategy, if you want to get better, is sort your aiming out. And what you might find is that you might go through a little bit of pain, because obviously if you keep making the allowance and you're aiming in the right spot, you're going to miss. But if you stick with it, eventually you'll probably start to cue better without even thinking about it, because you won't need to make this daft allowance or whatever. And nothing bad can come from better aiming. The world's a better player. The birds tweet in the sky. It's just nice. So I'm going to do a little video of an example of what I mean by an adjustment on the follow through or the strike, and how you can see that if you did start to cue straight without aiming better, you'd actually miss more. Here we go. So it's just one example of a load of them, of how someone addresses in the wrong spot, but they learn or develop a way of just correcting it on that strike. So with this shot, obviously, tracer left. Why would you not play with the tracer left? There's a video actually you can look on Help Inside. So if you was someone from this side, if you was someone that for whatever reason addressed right of centre, right, what people end up doing is they're addressing there, and then they learn on the strike to sort of go like that. Good shot that, wasn't it? But you see what I did there? I was addressing in the wrong spot, but that people will just, through repetition, just learn that I only seem to pot it when I do that, and they're not really sure why. But that'll be the reason that they, because if I'd have hit where I was addressing there, that doesn't go in. So, like I say, they just start to do this this mad move at the end. But obviously that's built on sand. If you can't repeat that very well, obviously you're going to miss. But like I say, if you all of a sudden keep addressing at the wrong spot, but then think, right, this geezer's told me to cue straight, then it is a world of pain. So start addressing in the right spots. So there you go. Dog with the bone, I know, but it's an example of what I mean, how it can sometimes actually make you worse. For me, you've got to sort your aiming out. Is the cue pointing in the direction you think it is miles more important than any other cueing technical stuff, because it don't really matter. You know, look at the game, there's so many different cue actions. What's the right one? You know, if it works, it works. But if you need to improve, I think better aiming is best for everyone. And I think also a lot of these people sort of preaching this stuff, this, that, the other. You know, if it's true, you know, they all, some of them cue really well, lovely, it was a straight, but they're not that good, are they? Because everybody wants to be a better snooker player. So why aren't they better? So hopefully that was all right. Please comment if you've got any questions or you want to criticise me, but don't. That's not very nice. Or even tell me how great I am. That'd be nice. You know, please. Yes. See you soon.